Hello everybody, this is Tandra Draco bringing you Game 2 between Crowbar and Aszriel. Let's get this started. We've got Aszriel in the top right in this kind of olive green color. And we've got Crowbar in the bottom left in the orange here. Sending out his overlord to the cross spawn of Eclipse. It's a two-player map, so the only spawns are cross, so I didn't mean to misspeak there. And it looks like we're gonna see a 5 pool from Crowbar here. We've got 5 drones in there, he's not making any more, so that's gotta be a 5 pool setting up here, so this might be a pretty quick game. Let me real quick say thanks for watching this video. You know how YouTube works, definitely drop a like. I'd love to see any comments, I'll reply to those for sure. And you know, subscribe if you like seeing casts. I do StarCraft and Tooth and Tail casting right now on this channel, so I'll be doing a lot more of that. I've got like a couple dozen replays to cast for StarCraft, so lots of stuff coming up. Definitely hit subscribe for that. Anyway, here we have the spawning pool started. A couple more drones, going up to 6 drones right now. Standard build from Terran on this side, blissfully unaware of the early impending doom. Looks like barracks set down a little closer to the ramp. And there's the Overlord started. Looks like he's just setting up for... There's 2 sets of lings now, and it looks like a third will be started in just a second when he has the 50 minerals for it. There we go. So pretty quick lings, and the Overlord definitely setting up for even more lings to be able to be built here. Starting to move across the map. This is game 2 of a best of 3. Aszriel is ahead 1-0 right now, and here he is scouting those Zerglings really quick. Let's see his response. I don't really think there's much he can do besides, yeah, okay, pull SCVs to try to block the ramp. Try to finish that up and get some Marines started. Also, I want to say, I misspoke last video, the Little League of Clan Wars is for 1650 MMR and under. So just want to clarify that. Thanks to Cookie Master in the last video pointing that out for me. So we have a pretty thick SCV wall here. The slings are going to start picking off SCVs. Ideally, this... you know, as the Zerg player, you really just want to kill your opponent this way, but if you kill enough SCVs and the game goes on, 5 pool can actually transition into a more normal game. And it looks like the barracks is a little too far forward, but we do have a bunker for the Marines to get back to. And Terran is still ahead on SCVs. More lings coming out. Crowbar floating a lot of minerals here. He could definitely try to transition out, maybe make another hatchery or a gas or something. Looks like he's going for another hatchery. Because 1 hatchery production, you start to get some extra minerals. So I like this transition out of here. Still a lot of lings, and there's still a lot of potential damage they can work once the others get here. We've got 4 more on their way. These lings getting around the Marines. A little bit of miss micro from Aszriel, leaving his Marines out to dry. I think we just had 1 ling killed there, so that's actually incredible damage. 2 or 3 Marines killed for 1 ling, and that one's pretty low. Second barracks getting started here. So eventually Terran should hold with the second barracks production. He does have to finish that supply depot or he's going to be supply blocked. That's definitely a huge pain. The academy also going down. I don't know. I feel like the supply depot would have been better built over here within cover of the bunker. Meanwhile, Zerg is... droning up now, getting that second hatchery, so he's not going to all in with the lings. He's going to keep this pressure on, deny Terran's expansion, you know, just do as much damage as he can. He's already done a lot. I'd say he's already done enough, really, because he's going to have that second base. Ooh, he's going to catch that Marine as it pops out. Okay, it does a little bit of damage to it. No ling speed yet. He's going to throw down the lair first. so not committing to the damage here. If you go with Ling Speed, you can definitely micro much more effectively, pick off SCVs and Marines. As it is, he'll stick with Slowlings for now, and get that lair. Let's see, we've got 100 gas now. Are we going to have Ling Speed? It's focusing on microing right now. Oh, there's a second bunker. I didn't catch that. Wow. Procaster right here. Oh, I've got the face cam as well, guys. Let me know in the comments if you like the face cam. I mean, there's an empty space there for the replay tab, so definitely have the space for it. So let me know if you like this style. Easy enough to turn on and off. So there's a medic out and a couple of firebats. Firebats, generally, their only purpose here is to be anti-Ling. And they do that fairly well. The Ling's going to dive on some SCVs, maybe. Now that they're getting chased down with more than enough forces, the medic really is the MVP here. He's going to kill some more SCVs. One goes down. Another. Nice drilling from the SCVs, trying to keep them alive. Oh, looks like a fourth SCV. All right, so that's a lot of damage. Definitely plenty. These sunken colonies, I think these are a little bit premature. You don't really need those yet. That's a lot of mining time that you're shutting down. I mean, you have an overlord here to spot the move out. You don't really need to start the sunkens. I don't think you even need to start the creep colonies, but certainly not the sunkens until you see this move out. So a little bit preemptive there, but Zerg is still in a pretty nice position. It looks like we're not going to see mutas here. Going to go with the Hydra Den and Lurker Tech instead. So interesting choice. A 2-base Lurker play is kind of an older aggressive style. But Zerg is far enough ahead that they could definitely make that work. We've got Engineering Bay and some turrets started. Terran definitely worried about mutas. These bunkers should help against mutas. So if you have a couple of Marines at home, that gives you a little bit of extra anti-air that's not as soft, so that's kind of nice. There's that third creep colony. See, now is when you need the sunkens to finish. That third one should get morphed here, mutated, excuse me. And it'll be ready in time. There's not really any busts they can do, especially with only one medic, and the 2 firebats don't really do that much extra. You really want a couple extra medics, 2 or 3. So we've got 1 lurker, and lurkers and sunkens together are really gonna hold well. Let's see where Zerg wants to go now with this opening. I don't really see massing up anything. Double bunker. Okay, so Aszriel definitely very afraid of a counter push here. It looks like both players are actually leaning extra hard into defense, almost too much, like almost to a fault. The sunkens were a little early. This is kind of overkill right now. But that means it evens out a little bit. If both players are playing a little bit too defensively, then neither side is really punishing the other for it. We're just a little bit slower economy, so it looks like we're saving up for that expansion here. Looks like you cut Marine production to make sure you got that expansion down. We've got +1 started. Terran should be able to deny this third. Yep, there's 1 Marine going up to deny that. Very nice. The other's setting up. They don't want to let any Lings or Lurkers out of Zerg's main, trying to hold this contain, just to keep the map control. It's super important, because Lurkers out on the map means you could have hold position Lurkers, or you can get the Lurkers right up to the bunkers. That drone does go down, and the Lurkers are going to get on the high ground here. Very defensive location, so that third base should be safe as soon as he can manage to get a drone up there. Let's see what Terran's up to. Command center almost done. A factory, probably for siege tanks. Do have one of the barracks is producing here. Both sides macroing up. Pretty even worker counts. A little low for both sides. Especially for Terran, but I guess that's because we don't have the second base yet. Terran ahead in supply, which is good. In both of the non-mirror Zerg matchups, Zerg is normally lower in supply at many points in the game. And at a lot of those points, if the Zerg is even in supply, that means they're actually ahead because their supply is just so efficient. Things like Hydras only take 1 supply. Lings, 2 of them take 1 supply. Got a bit of a potential move out. These lurkers trying to get a forward position. We do have scans. One about ready here. So Terran can kill these lurkers, but definitely want to be careful using your scans. Only has 1 available at the moment. That drone is going to be able to safely get up to the 3rd base, though. I see that's why the lurkers are moving forward. Kind of control that forward position there. Medics being sent across the map to reinforce. And we've got a starport and machine shop. Probably going to see siege tanks and science facility here. Or yeah, science facility to the for the science vessels. Irradiate is super powerful against lurkers, and you really need it for the late game anyway. Hive is going to come out, so irradiates are generally the best answer to defilers, ultras, more lurkers, as far as the SK Terran style goes. So taking a look big picture, these 2 players, it's hard for me to call. I'm a Protoss player, so it's a little hard for me to call who is ahead. It looks pretty even to me at this moment. I kind of like the position Zerg is in. Going to be able to get up to defilers without any timing pushes coming out, so I kind of like where Zerg is at. Just ahead on the tech. Terran doesn't really seem like they're macroing all that powerfully. They keep cutting Marines. Right now it's because of a supply block, but there hasn't really been non-stop Marine production, which is really hindering Terran's growth. I think they could definitely have done some damage with that. But we'll see. Last game, Zerg was ahead and Terran was able to come back and win, so we could definitely see that again. Zerg sending some scouting lings around the map, just making sure Terran's not trying to take a 3rd base. Massing up lings here. Let's see, what kind of tech are we looking at? It looks like some of the lings are going to try to move out. Lings can beat Marine and Medic, but you have to have a large number, and you have to have really good surface area like this. If he had been able to get surface area like that with that first mass of lings, it would have been a much closer fight. Good scan to pick off that lurker. This army being super efficient. Now, I'd say that I like Zerg's position here, but you really got to get this 3rd base mining as well. Here we go, some more drones coming up. Once you have that 3rd gas mining, you're really able to support the Ultralisks that it looks like Zerg is going for. A bit of crazy Zerg. Not strictly crazy Zerg, but it's kind of a similar idea, just going Ultras without the Defiler support. Crazy Zerg is more like Mutas into Ultras, skipping Lurkers. But similar idea here, you just need the 3rd gas going to be able to pump out the Ultras and get their armor upgrades. Meanwhile, on the Terran side, looks like we're going to get rid of this bunker here. Got at least 1 tank. Going up to 5 barracks. There's siege mode being researched. And it looks like EMP again instead of Irradiate. And I talked to, I messaged Aszriel after that first video, and he said that was definitely a misclick on the first one, so I assume that's what it is this time. It's not really any purpose for EMP in ZVT or TVZ. You're just looking for irradiates. So, oh no, he's gonna go try to use it, and he's gonna find out right now that he got a EMP instead. That's got to be a frustrating moment here. So his research was done, and then his science vessel's not really doing anything except for detecting. Definitely has the money to research irradiate now. Also, you want to be constantly producing if you can. He definitely has the gas for it. the more vessels, the better, really. You want a whole cloud of them. Okay, so maybe he's going to go with drops instead. Do have the Ultralisks coming out here, and their main armor upgrade being researched. We had +1, I believe. Yep, +1 carapace, +2 is on the way as well. So when these two upgrades finish, we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 armor on these Ultras, which is really scary, especially against Marines that only have +1. So let's check the upgrades here. Yeah, so you definitely want to try to keep up with the Zerg's armor upgrades. Otherwise, your Marines start to do almost nothing to the Ultras. Here's that couple of siege tanks coming down. They're going to try to bust. Zerg is definitely still turtling at the moment, so I like putting the pressure on. There's a lot of Marines and medics. There is that science vessel. I don't know if there's a radiate. I'm going to start shelling the spore colony. Oh, I see. Okay, so kill the spore colony so you can detect lurkers and start shooting them. There's a defensive matrix, a good use of the science vessel's energy, and we're looking at a bust here. The sunken colony is just immediately going down, but now we've got 6 Ultras, and the armor upgrade is done. It looks like this armor upgrade, not quite yet, +2, but pretty tanky Ultras, and the Marines just with +1. That's so many Ultras. The tanks should be able to deal quite a bit of damage here, but we got some wings on this tank. And that's going to be Zerg busting out and clearing Terran's army. And it looks like Zerg is actually a little ahead in supply now and tied on the worker counts. Third base is fully mining with that gas. So Zerg definitely taking a lead here with that army engagement. Resetting the Terran's army. Now there is a third base for Terran, which is great. And 6 racks going up to 7, so nice full production here. Love to see more science vessels for Irradiate. It's such a powerful spell against the late game Zerg units. Super important. What do we got here? Oh, there was a medic. Oh, he was scouting with the medics. Oh, interesting. I don't know how to hide this map in time here. Let me find out. Oops, don't show that. It's going to be too late, but there's the mini-map thing. There was a couple of medics hiding back here doing some scouting, which is good. Better might have been to save them, but, you know, getting information here. So we've got a couple of vessels. There's the Irradiates going down. That one's definitely going to die, and that one's going to be really softened up. Now, you want to wait a second before engaging, just so the Irradiates don't kill your own Marines as much, but softening up those Ultras for a future fight is amazing. They do have +4. So, almost fully maxed on the armor. That +3 armor is being started here. Bear in mind, 2 of the plus there is from the Ultralisk specific upgrade, and then 2 of it is the general armor. And then, of course, they start with 1 armor, so that's the 5. And let's check the Marines. They still have +1, so right now, Marines are pretty terrible against Ultras, but as soon as this +2 finishes, they'll be a bit better. So it looks like there's some more science vessels coming out. And Terran is going to scout this 4th base from Zerg. Having a 4th base for Zerg is really going to allow them to get into Defilers. More Ultras if they want, but more importantly, getting into Defilers. Defiler Ultra is such an insane combination. We've also got some Scourge here. Eventually going to try to pick off some vessels. Ooh, nice pick there. Catching an Ultras kind of left out in the open. Very nice. Looks like we're going to have an Irradiate here. Oh, the Ultra's incoming from a flank. I think this is way too much. The Marines aren't going to be able to handle this. A couple of Irradiates going off, but those Irradiates will actually do almost more harm than good. That's an insane number of Ultralisks and a good flank there. We're going to see a vessel go down, and the other one as well, probably. Got to spread your Ultralisks out away from that one. Again, the Zerg supply goes higher than the Terrans. Definitely a little bit of an overextension there, allowing the Ultras to flank like that. 4th base up for Zerg. Definitely going to allow them to get defilers if they want. At least Nidus is between the bases as well, is something you can think about taking. Just insane number of Vultures getting into this third base for Terran, killing a bunch of SCVs. Gonna shut down this command center, force it to lift off. He probably could just bust the main right now as well. Got all 7 barracks as pumping units. That Ultralisk is gonna be softened up. Just imagine if there was like 5 science vessels right now to irradiate every single one of these Ultras, soften them up. At this point, it might not be a game changer, but you know, it's definitely the resources there for it. Zerg's still ahead in supply, which is a terrifying thing for the Terran player. Just macroing as hard as he can off of these 2 bases. Main base almost mined out. After which I don't think he's going to be able to fully support 7 racks production. I'm trying to take on these Ultras here. A lot of them are still pretty healthy. So I think the Marines are going to get cleaned up here. We might see a GG. There it is. So Zerg takes game 2, tying the series up 1-1, and we're going to go to a game 3 in just a moment. GG's.